Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Kemi, and I'm here to talk about Beyond the Gates Season 2, Episode 121. Now, before we begin, make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, and turning on your post notifications so you'll know whenever I post. All right, so we start the episode off with with Naomi meeting Dani. Naomi is sad and tells her that she's been lying to Jacob for months. We see Andre and Jacob. They're at the club. They just got done playing basketball. Jacob feels like himself, and he's back. And there are brighter days in front of him. We see Martin, Smitty, and Samantha are at the house. They ask about Tyrell. He left with Jessica a long time ago. They say there aren't enough hours in the day for him to spend with her, and then Samantha says, especially since she's going to break up with him at the end of the summer. Martin and Smitty are shocked by this. They didn't know this. And Samantha says that's because he thinks he can change Jessica's mind. We see Tyrell and Jessica. They're at the club. They just played pickleball. He wants to go have sex, but they can't find a place to do it at. We see Anita and Vernon. They're chilling at home. He brings her meds and they talk about the surgery. Kat comes in. She tells him she's moving. Anita doesn't want her to go. She tells him about the condo. She tells them what happened and what she's done. Vernon tells her she should be taking it easy and not house hunting. She tells them when life comes at you fast, you just got to go and do it. And she tells them that she has to own her own independence. So we go back to Andre and Jacob at the where's this place they at? Where they at? At the clubhouse. Is that what it's called? At the country club. My bad, y'all. I'm tired. They're at the country club. Um, they talk about the changes in Jacob. He and Naomi finally reconnected. Andre talks about the thing that Andre says that things are looking up for the family. He talks about Dani spinning since the tornado, and now she's better. Dani is telling Naomi if she cheated on Jacob, everyone would understand. Naomi says she's not like Bill. She would never cheat on someone she loves. Dani apologizes and she wants to know, well, what is it if it's not that? Naomi tells her that she's lied to her and she's been lying to the whole family and she's sorry. We go back to Martin and we go back to the Smarty household. Martin is worried that Tyrell is going to follow Jessica to UCLA. They said they won't let him throw away everything that he's worked for. We go back to Tyrell and Jessica. They're again still talking about sex and trying to figure out where they're going to do it at. He wants to go and do it in one of the closets, but she's just like, not no, but hell no. He says he wants to do something else. Then he wants to get tattoos. So we go back to Vernon and Anita, and they're giving Kat their blessing. They're gonna miss her, and they reminisce on all the time that they had together while she was living there, which I wish we could have seen some of the stuff because they were talking about her putting Nita on to the podcast and also Vernon and the books that they were reading. So it would have been nice if they showed a little bit more bonding between them, especially since she was living in their house, because it was just like she moved in and we didn't see them together until she needed a favor. And it was just like, okay. So we go back to Andre and Jacob, and they're getting ready to leave this time. They're leaving the country club, and they're just making plans to meet again next week. And this time, maybe they're going to invite the ladies. Jacob tells Andre that he needed this, and he thanks him for that. So we see Naomi. She told Dani she had the BRCA gene off screen, of course. Dani is there for her. Naomi explains why she didn't tell him. She asks Dani not to tell Bill. Dani comforts her like only a mother could. Naomi asks her how is she going to tell Jacob. She doesn't know how he'll react, and Dani gives her a pep talk. So we go back to Jessica and Tyrell. She says all the reasons why she doesn't want to get the tattoo. He talks her into getting one, he talks her into getting matching tattoos, but not really matching tattoos, something that will resonate with both of them. So they leave to go get their tattoos. We see, sorry, We see Kat. She's over at the Smarty house. Samantha's happy to see her. She was on her way over there, but the parents had stopped her. She asked her how she's doing, and she tells her, it was just um, a laparoscopic surgery, and she only has a small scar. But Samantha's just like, no, I was asking how you're doing with turning down Tomas or whatever. So Kat looks at Martin like, for real. But she tells her, she's good. Um, where am I? She tells him she's fine. She bought a condo and she's there to apologize to Martin. So we go to Vernon and Anita. Vernon is glad that Kat's leaving. Anita wanted her to stay. Vernon is glad. He's glad. He thinks her staying there was an escape from her making up her mind about Tomas and living on her own. He hates she had a brush with passing to get her to live again. Anita knows he's right, but she still wants her there. They reminisce about when about them becoming empty nesters or whatever. So we go to Jacob. Jacob comes home and Naomi's there, and she tells him that she has the BRCA gene. It was real quick too. She was just like, "Yeah, I got to tell you something. I got the BRCA gene." Boom. I was just like, "Girl, what?" It didn't go that quick, but that's how my notes. That's how quick my notes were. Let me stop. Kat apologizes to Martin for what she said while they were in the hospital. He says he owes her an apology and apologizes to her for not being the brother she needed in the moment. Kat gets misty eyed and he says he spent so much time trying to make up for lost time with Eva that he didn't pay attention to what she was going through. Kat appreciates him saying that and tells him that Eva beat him to the punch. She tells him that they had a good talk and she woke up with a whole new empathy for her half sis. So we go back to Jacob. He doesn't get it and wonders why they reran the test. She tells him she's known this whole time. She gives him excuses on why she didn't tell him initially. She came close, but then the case happened. He tells her there's nothing more important in this world than her, and she's sorry that she lied to him. Andre comes home and Dani tells him that Naomi has the gene, and he comforts her, but Dani is spiraling, of course. We go back to Anita and Vernon. They're spending time together and they're complimenting each other. They're being, again, lovey dovey. We go back to Kat talking with we go back to Kat talking with the Smarty family, and she's telling them about her dream. Um, and Samantha says she's had that nightmare as well before, but it was when she was like they thinking that she wasn't, going to get placed, or that, whatever. Not whatever, but that's what her dream was about. Kat Kat says she understands Eva. Now she understands Eva now and feels like they got to a place where it's less toxic and more peaceful. Yet she was just calling you bougie, but okay. I mean, she don't know it, but Kat left that meeting thinking that they would be less toxic, and Eva left that meeting with, "I'ma still call her bougie." Yeah. So Martin wonders if they'll start acting like sisters. Kat says that's a bridge too far. They've come to an understanding and neither want to spend any more headspace hating on the other. Tyrell and Jessica come in and they show them their tattoos. She got a tattoo of one of her favorite quotes from a poem, and they're like, "Oh, that's good. I hope you still feel that way after, in 20 years." Then this fool done got a tattoo of Jay, and they all look at him like he crazy. So, and Andre is giving Dani a pep talk. she's talking about how Naomi always kept things to herself. She always wanted to do things on her own. He lets her know she's a good mother and he gives her advice. He tells her it's time to think of the next steps. And of course, she takes it the wrong way. We go back to Jacob and Naomi. Jacob gives her a pass and makes her feel better about lying to him. He will give her whatever she needs and tells her in sickness and health. She tells him she's done research and she has option, and he asks what do they need to do. Of course, yeah, again we see Anita and Vernon being cute. We go back to Tyrell and them, and they're ribbing him about his tattoo. He says the J is for June, but they don't believe him, just like I don't believe him. We go back to Andre trying to explain what he meant to Dan, what he was trying to tell Dani. She tells him all the things she's doing and how she knows there are people who have the variant that didn't get the big C, and there are people who, yeah, there are people that had the variant and never got the big C, and there are people who didn't have the variant and did get the big C. Andre is, he's been researching other options. Dani doesn't want to risk her quality of life. On a maybe, they argue. She isn't changing her body. She's focused on helping her daughter, and if he can't get on board, she's gonna go talk to someone who will. And then she leaves, and then we go back to Naomi and Jacob is asking her, okay, what's the next steps? And then she tells him that she's thinking about getting a double mastectomy. So yeah, that was the episode. Make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, and turning on your post notifications so you'll know whenever I post. Get down in the comments, tell me what you guys thought about this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one.